Lowrider song.
Yeah.
I grew up in the South Bay.
It's a good song. Sometimes Paul comes in and I get upset about the songs. You can't get upset about Lowrider.
Nah.
It's Dianna Meza joining me from the Alliance Group, top producer, very good friend of mine, been on the show many times, was on our show at KPRZ before as well. We have a deep friendship, and if there's anyone who should talk about the real estate market, is this gal, so thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
What do you think of the DMV, Dianna?
The DMV?
When's the last time you've been to the DMV?
That's a random question.
I know. You just came in from the green room. I just spent an entire segment talking about my experience at the DMV yesterday.
I try to avoid it at all costs and do as much as I can online or set appointments so that I'm in and out.
How funny is that? She didn't even hear the last part of the show. So I did the same thing. I was very efficient. Just make sure when you set the appointment, they give you a little tag. When they call your number, make sure you get in line and you go. And watch out for the gal named Lisa. She's mean. Anyway, so DMV, it's good to have you in here. And I want to get right into the real estate stuff. Thanks for having fun with me on that. But so last year, crazy year in real estate, 2013, massive appreciation. You helped a lot of buyers and sellers. You were the queen of busting the low inventory market. So even though that market maybe has changed a little bit, you were the one who was able to navigate it, get your offers accepted. So from your perspective, what kind of year did we just come out of?
Things have definitely balanced out quite a bit. The market's going into what I feel a more normalized, balanced market where we're not seeing as many multiple offers. So even though I was really successful in getting my offers accepted in those multiple offer situations, it's great for me to know that I can survive in those markets. But it's also good to be able to exhale a little bit.
Well, I know you worked your tail off. I think that's part of the reason your success, but it almost felt like that was your advantage, is that you were outworking everybody in that low inventory market and you were creating more appealing offers on some of these listings. I mean, I watched a lot of things happen. You did with some of our listeners where they'd been making all these offers in different directions and they weren't able to get them accepted, and you were just coming in just getting them done. So I guess the normalizing of the market is good for everybody. So let's switch gears. Rather than look backwards, let's look forwards. 2014, what do you expect?
We're seeing more inventory come on the market.
Okay.
Rates are going to come up this year if we look at everything. And so there's a cost of waiting. So I'm really encouraging all the buyers to get in as soon as possible.
Yeah, the rates are going to rise because people got to remember that the bond buying program is going away. So what that means is Janet Yellen's going to stop buying bonds at the market. Mortgage rates will naturally go up as the economy improves, which it kind of has to keep moving in that direction. You'll see more money probably flow into the stock market. That's at the expense of mortgage rates. So there is a cost of waiting. You know what? It also, I haven't even mentioned this on the show yet, and you just kind of brought it up on accident, at least for me. There's also new mortgage rules coming through that are very overreaching, that are going to make the boundaries of qualifying even stricter. So the stricter that becomes, the tougher it gets. If there was ever a time to move more quickly, it's to take advantage of the low cost of interest rates as well as easier financing. Now, when I say easy, I don't mean like 2006, if you could fog a mirror, you can get a loan. I mean, look, a debt versus income ratio tightening up when you can more than afford it. There's a lot of people who are going to get squeezed out that would afford the payment just fine because they're being really, really conservative. If you go to DiannaMeza.com today, you can learn more about Dianna, and she can help you with any of this stuff. So 2014, a normalizing marketplace. Any feel for the type of appreciation that you think we'll see? I mean, last year we saw 19-20%. Do you think that prices still go up on us?
Per the Case-Shiller report, we're looking in San Diego appreciation of 5 to 6%.
That'd be great.
Yeah, I think that's still a good investment.
It's an outstanding investment. I want it to be there because not only is it a good investment still, but it's realistic.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to worry about the market overheating.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading the Union Tribune the other day. I don't know where they get some of their experts from. There's a gal that said that properties were going to go up 21 to 23%. I mean, what is she talking about?
Unless we want another bubble.
Yeah, I know that would be a bad thing. A lot of people that have real estate right now would be like, yeah, that'd be great. No, it'd be terrible. Mm-hmm. I mean, it could send this economy into a spiral if something like that happened. But the investors are going to pull out, I think, more this year. I think there's not as much gain there. People that you've helped, though. I mean, what's cool about you is you cover a wide range of San Diego. I know that your office is in Mission Valley, but you're covering different parts of the market. You got a team that supports you. You're helping buyers and sellers. Mm-hmm. So let's start with the buyers. Tell me some good stories of people that you've been able to help recently.
I have such an incredible story to share. I'm glad you brought that up. There is a couple that I was able to represent. They're in their 60s. They're about 10 years away from their retirement. They came to me last February. They were approved for $180,000 on an FHA loan.
Okay.
At the time, it was a multiple offer market. And what you need to understand about FHA is that at 180, you're only able to get a condo. And whenever I have a buyer that's FHA approved, we have to go to just FHA approved condos, which is about 10% of the condos in San Diego. So that in a multiple offer market situation and minimal inventory and only maybe like
cash buyers,
complexes that I have to work with, it was nearly impossible for me to do anything with them. So I set the expectation with them. I told them it might take us some time to find anything if we do.
And let me step in here so people truly understand a takeaway from this. So many realtors, and I know you have to say realtor. People always get on me about how I pronounce that. It's the way to, even listeners like, why do you say realtor? I'm like, that's actually how you're supposed to say it, right?
Right.
So many realtors will not work with that client because it's not worth their time. They know they can't get accepted. So that alone to me is an outstanding story that you're going to put the time and effort into something like this when a lot of people wouldn't. So I think that speaks volumes to you.
Yeah, it's just having that conversation up front, setting the expectation. If they understand, what we're working with the market, I'm willing to work with them. If they have unrealistic expectations that they're going to get into escrow tomorrow, can it happen? Absolutely. Is it realistic? Absolutely not. But this is what I can do. This is what I can't do. This is what I won't do. But I'm here in it for the long haul to see it through and help you reach your goal as long as it takes.
So where are things now with these guys?
So 3 months into it, we had a list. There was a listing that came up. It was actually, fortunately, it was in-house.
And what do you mean by that? Just so people understand.
It was a listing that was within our brokerage.
Okay.
So I had, seen that we had this inventory, got an offer in, got it accepted. Well, let me back up. They were in their 60s. They're 10 years away from retirement. They had just gotten married, and they were living in a 400 square foot little studio.
Wow.
They were barely able to breathe. They loved being together, but the space was just too small. And they both have children and grandchildren, and so the space was just too small for them.
Wow.
They were at their wits' end and desperate to move out, and so it was really important they got something. So they knew that they were only going to get something, perhaps 700 square feet, which was going to be huge for them. Ended up getting them a 1,300 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath townhome for $145,000. We switched their lending from FHA to a first-time home buying program, which helped them with their down payment. They also got a second mortgage with 0% interest, and they got $10,000 grant for their closing cost, and they got $30,000 for upgrades. The house that they got was built in the 70s. It was all original, including popcorn ceilings. The drawers were stuck. That's how old the house was. It was falling apart. And to make things better, they got that $30,000 to fully update the property.
Was it an FHA 203K?
It was initially an FHA, and then we switched it into a 921 zip code loan program that only a larger portfolio lender would have.
Wow.
I know, it was incredible the way it all came together. Then to make things better, if they occupy the property for 10 years and they're going to retire in it, that $30,000 is forgiven.
Holy cow.
So what an incredible story.
I mean, that's unbelievable. So that's creative too. I mean, how many realtors would have given up when they said, I'm buying a $180,000 house?
Right.
More or so, a $180,000 condo. I mean, so many people would have passed on that. Not only did you not, you took it on, you problem solved, you made it work in a way that was an absolute home run. Now, not only have you given them a place to live that's much more square footage, you've also helped them accomplish the American dream, which I always call it. And you've strengthened their legacy. When you're at the 60s to 70s and you have kids and you have grandkids, which I don't, but when you do, you start to think about what am I going to leave behind? That house in 10, 20 years It's going to keep going up in value. All their payments might get paid off. Now, all of a sudden, you're able to leave something so valuable to the people you care the most about because of you. You got to feel pretty good about that.
Lots of prayers. They were also people of faith. Lots of prayers from their end too, and with God's help and us just following God's direction, we made it happen.
Well done. I wanted to get more stories from you, but unfortunately, we're running out of time here. So I guess here's what we'll do. I just want to part with: is there anything that people need to know that you want to share? Today is January. I can't even see on my watch here. 8th. 2014. What do people need to know going into this new year? What's going to happen in the real estate market? What are the things that people should expect?
It's just a great time right now to look at buying. There's a cost of waiting. It's an awesome time to sell because sellers have gained appreciation.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to gain. So it's going to be a great year for real estate. I'm really excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a more normal great year.
Balanced, normal. We like that.
We like that as well. We like Dianna Meza. Go to DiannaMeza.com. She's got 2 N's in Dianna, so DiannaMeza.com. Great job. Great story. Thanks for helping us with this. We're going to have you on again here pretty soon. Appreciate it. That's all for the show. Out of time. It was a quick one today. Thank you for tuning in. 6 p.m., 1170 a.m. K2Q. See you tomorrow.
Sowing.